Another Heartbeat for the House. Written by Lanette E. Andrew. Illustrations by Alexander T. Walter. This book is dedicated to my firstborn grandson, Chamberlain Avery Andrew, and all who are born after him. Knowledge is power. It was Valentine's Day. Papa remembered how exciting it was when Dominic and Christy came home for a visit with Neiman. Neiman was an English bulldog who stole our hearts, even Papa's. We have had dogs in the past, but now that the children were grown, we could really appreciate having another heartbeat in the house. Dominic and Christy not only lived in Dallas, Texas, but Danielle had married the love of her life, Louis Edmond, and had moved to New Orleans East. They no longer needed their parents. We had done a wonderful job producing honest, hardworking, law-abiding citizens. And though Devin was still living at the home, we felt the effects of the empty nest syndrome. I know what I can give Mama for Valentine's Day this year, said Papa. What about an English bulldog like Neiman? He jumped on the internet to search English bulldogs. Many different breeds appeared. The search took a few minutes. Then Papa came across a specific picture of a particular breed. This is the one, said Papa. Look at his face. Look at his eyes. Look at his coat. He is beautiful. He's even my favorite color. Papa pulled out his credit card and purchased the reddish-brown English bulldog with a dark brown stripe near the center of his back, black paws, and a black face. Come and see what I'm getting you for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, squealed Mama. You don't buy anything for anybody for Valentine's Day. I couldn't help it. Remember when Dominic and Christy came for that visit with Neiman? Asked Papa. Yes, I remember, said Mama. Papa explained how he missed having all of the different heartbeats in the house since all of the kids were grown. The house seemed a little empty. He explained how good it felt to help care for and assist in the development of the little puppy. So he decided to purchase a puppy for me on Valentine's Day in efforts to multiply the heartbeats. Aw, that's so sweet, Papa, said Mama. So Papa asked two of his friends to drive from New Orleans, Louisiana to Birmingham, Alabama to meet the breeder and pick up our puppy. He was so excited. Dave and Dion agreed to drive. Dave assured the breeder that our puppy would have a good home. When they returned, our puppy was just as beautiful as he was on the internet. What are we going to name him? Asked Papa. Let's call him Djang, said Mama. We'd just seen the movie Django and fell in love with the main character's heroic efforts. I love a good story, said Mama. Djang it is, said Papa. Having Djang added to our family was like having another person added to our family. We had to adjust our schedule in order to accommodate him. We would take turns waking up every 4 hours to potty train our new puppy. We learned that a puppy must relieve itself hourly based on its age and weight. Potty training every 4 hours was very challenging. So Mama, Papa, and even Devin took turns. And as Djang got older, potty training became a lot easier. Early one spring morning, Djang awakened Mama. Asked Djang. Is it that time already? Said Mama. Said Djang. Okay, Djang, said Mama. Djang had started looking forward to his morning chase with Mr. Lizard. It was springtime, and Mr. Lizard had become sociable whenever Djang would go outside. Good morning, Djang, said Mr. Lizard. And the chase began. Mr. Lizard enjoyed the chase across the walkway, into the garden, and through the bushes. Djang also enjoyed connecting with nature at his new home. It was different from his home in Birmingham. After chasing Mr. Lizard, Djang would sit in the driveway, panting and smiling, taking it all in. He was very attentive to the different sounds in his new neighborhood. When he would hear the birds chirping, his ears and his bob tail would become stiff, as if he could identify each species of bird by its sound. Added to his morning routine would be a trot across the lawn to try to catch a butterfly. When the aircrafts from the nearby naval base would fly overhead, Djang would run and hide. Though they looked like birds, they did not sound like birds, Djang thought. As the seasons changed, Djang made new friends. Of course, Mr. Lizard, the birds, and the butterflies were always there. But now nature brought a new family into the neighborhood. One summer morning, Djang awakened Papa. What's up, Djang? Is it my turn to take you out? Asked Papa. Arr, said Djang. Okay, Djang, said Papa. There was Mr. Lizard. Good morning, Djang, said Mr. Lizard. And the chase began. This time, across the walkway, into the garden, through the bush, and straight into an ant bed. Djang sniffed and snorted, sniffed and snorted, sniffed and snorted until Papa had to rescue him from the family of ants. Djangy, 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 cried Papa. What is going on? Papa noticed Djangy's nose was covered with members from the ant family. Papa quickly wiped Djang's face and made sure that Djang did not disturb the ant bed again. Respecting the ant family's privacy was a learning experience, thought Djang. One morning during fall season, it was again Papa's turn to take Djang out for his morning walk. The sun was out and shining brightly. The grass seemed its darkest green, even sparkling in the sun, making it appear almost crisp. I wonder what types of encounters Djang is going to have with his new environment on this day, thought Papa. It has been a wonderful experience observing Djang adapt to his new surroundings. As soon as Papa completed that thought, Djang noticed the very surroundings that made his life so wonderful. He began to roll around on his back in the sparkling, crisp green grass in the front yard of Mama and Papa's home. Papa called Mama to see how Djang was enjoying his new surroundings during this season of the year. Aw, he's so happy, said Papa. He sure is, and so am I, said Mama. But it was during one winter season morning on Mama's watch that Djang met Mr. Tomcat. He was just as big as Djang, but he was a cat, and Mama was a little afraid of cats, you know. You see, the seasons had changed, and Mr. Lizard, the birds, and the butterflies began to avoid the cold weather. The days were shorter, and the nights were longer. And though the cold weather was ideal for both Djang's and Mr. Tomcat's soft, furry coats, it was entirely too cold for Mama. Their friendship was one in passing. Mr. Tomcat is going to have to come around during the summer or spring or even the fall if he wants to get acquainted, said Mama. So Djang and Mr. Tomcat shook paws and thought, life is good, as they trotted back to their warm and cozy homes where their hearts can beat for the ones they love. The moral of this story is that it's good to love and care for someone or something other than yourself. Caring keeps the heart beating.